Welcome back, dear viewers. And today we have with us a very special guest. We have Hussa Alhassawi, a transformational coach. Good evening to you, Hussa, and you're most welcome here on Hala Kuwait.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and would love to know all about your career and your educational background.
Sure. Originally, I studied architecture, but then I moved into life coaching because it was something that I wanted in my life. And when I saw the results of it in my life, I was very adamant on spreading that knowledge to women in our society.
All right, that's very great to hear from you, mashallah.
Thank
and
you.
You're spreading all your knowledge and your experience to us and to our dear viewers.
Thank you so much.
So today, dear viewers, we have a very special subject. It's about gossip.
Yes.
So would you tell us all about this subject, Hussa?
In the beginning, it was a personal choice, something that I decided to do in the beginning of my personal transformation, where I replaced reading gossip with reading books. So originally, in my childhood, I didn't used to read a lot, and I really wanted to infuse reading in my lifestyle. But I thought, maybe I can use one of the success strategies where you substitute one thing for another. So instead of this, you do this. Every time you want to do this, do this. So I substituted gossiping with discussing a book.
Okay.
So I read a book, and anytime I felt like I wanted to gossip, I would talk about the book.
All right.
And then slowly I started seeing all the good consequences coming out of this decision. How in the beginning my relationships changed, then my business and career started growing, how my brain and mind and thinking started shifting and changing just because I stopped focusing on gossiping.
All right. So, Hussa, is this gossip matter just related to women, or also are men also involved?
Gossip is a universal thing. It's not men or women. It's not Arabs or Westerners.
Yes.
It's a coping mechanism everyone uses to deal with the pain that they have within their mentality or their thinking.
All right. So, and is it true that if somebody is been gossiped about, his ear rings? Is this true or something?
I don't know. I think it's a myth maybe, but I'm not sure. But yes, it is something known in our culture at least.
All right.
Yeah.
And what do you think about people who don't gossip to other people? They maybe gossip to their mind. How does this reflect for their inner focus?
That's also something that's valid, but maybe we wouldn't call it gossip. Maybe we call it inner voice. So the inner, like a critical inner voice. So that's something also to be worked on, because the inner voice or whatever is being said in our minds, even if it is not being verbalized, still affects our synaptic connections.
And Hussa, when people actually do real gossiping about others, how does this affect their time, and how does it change them, the surroundings that they have, and what should they focus on other than gossip, as you said? For example, reading a book, what's another practical method?
In the beginning, we want to understand the biological mechanism behind gossiping.
Yes.
So in our brains, we have synaptic connections, and these synaptic connections are ideas that have been created by us. We created them, that help us survive. So we grow up in our lives looking for proof for those ideas to stay alive. Gossiping only what gossiping does is it makes those synaptic connections stronger.
Okay.
Mostly those synaptic connections are limiting beliefs, let's say. So like, for example, I am better than someone, or someone's better than me. If I do not, then I will. So it's very limited. Like, if I don't this, then it's this. Like, if I don't travel like my other friends, I will be shut out of that circle. You know, like those kinds of ideas. So because I'm afraid of, for example, of being shut out or left out, I start saying that, oh my God, she's traveling all the time. Oh my God, you know. And then I'm just enabling a synaptic connection that's already in my mind. So if I want change in my life, I want to think of changing synaptic connections in my brain, not changing the outside. Because if the synaptic connections in my brain do not change, my natural instinct is to go back to them.
Yes, and this obviously affects the person that gossips in the long term.
Yes.
This habit continues on and on.
And grows and increases and becomes stronger. So it doesn't just continue, it becomes stronger and bigger.
All right. So, for example, if somebody's at work and he hears some gossip about him,
Yeah.
what should he do? For example, if he heard, for example, 3 different gossips about him from the same person.
From the
should
same
he-
person.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a strategy that we can use. Number 1, if you heard that you've been gossiped about, go back and reflect on how does that make you feel.
Okay.
So for example, it makes me feel betrayed. It makes me feel left out. It makes me feel, like, what does it make you feel? Take that feeling and then go to the root thought of it. Mostly it's something in your childhood, mostly it's something you've been through.
Yes.
There's a root thought for that feeling. Go back to that thought, rewire that thought. Now when that person starts talking about you, continues to, let's assume they continue to talk about you, it won't bother you anymore.
Yeah, but should you confront that person and say, like, why are you gossiping about me?
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, and in coaching, it's not necessary, because once you get to the root cause, that person is going to stop talking.
All right.
It just happens that way.
And how does focusing, Hussa, on your self-mentality to build up, as you said, on confidence and try to escape gossiping into more of a self-development learning process, as you said, reading a book or doing a hobby?
Yeah.
And how can a person grow in different ways?
Replacing, use gossiping as a strategy to enable you to grow. So use the technique that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Number 2, start noticing, activate the observer state, as we call it, where you notice the places where you gossip the most, the subjects you gossip the most about, how much time are you spending gossiping. So for example, in the beginning of my personal journey, I noticed once that I would spend, I believe, 3 hours a day
3 hours gossiping?
gossiping.
Okay.
And I literally said, oh my God, those 3 hours could have been spent doing something else.
Yes.
So replace it with something else. Replace it with something you want.
Yes.
Replace it not with something you don't want. Replace it with something you want. And that way you're giving your brain an incentive to stop this act and do another act. Another technique that I used in the beginning is like, okay, if you want to gossip, you can gossip, but you're going to miss out on this.
Miss out on what exactly?
A goal that I have,
Okay.
a dream that I have, a vision that I have for myself. You know?
Yes.
Like, okay, you can gossip, go ahead and gossip, but your business will never succeed.
What if it was gossip, but in a good way?
How is gossip a good way?
For example, most of the parents, not gossip, but they talk about their children, like what he did in school, what he
But
did
that's
in
not
the
gossip.
university.
If it's
Yes, but
good,
it's behind their back.
would the kids be upset if they knew?
Maybe.
This is the line that I draw.
Okay.
So it's like if they would get upset if they knew I said what I said,
Yes.
that to me is gossip. So even about my kids, I noticed, like, even with my kids, I complain about them a lot,
Okay.
thinking that I'm just a mom and I'm complaining and it's okay. I'm just saying this to my sister and that's okay.
Yes.
But then I stopped doing that and I stopped even complaining about my kids. Suddenly my mindset around them shifted.
All
When
right.
I'm around them, started shifting because my brain stopped looking for the things that I would use to complain.
All right.
So whatever your brain, you teach your brain to do what you want it to do.
Yes.
So if you're teaching it to notice the wrong things, to look at the wrong things, then it will say, oh, this is what we want. Okay, so let's do that. And then it's going to continue just looking at the wrong things, and that will make you miss looking for opportunities.
Okay.
So I would say, okay, you want to gossip, you can gossip, but you're going to miss opportunities.
All right. What about that, dear viewers? We have Hussa Alhassawi here explaining all about gossip and how you can shift your mindset to set yourself some goals for the new year. By the way, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. So for us and our dear viewers, as the new year is here now, what other goals should we put for us in front of us and just escape gossip?
Maybe stopping gossip should be one of the goals.
Right.
Allowing yourself to have a better life, like dreaming big and allowing yourself to believe that dream. That in itself is a goal. Because believing a dream and believing that you can have the goals that you are dreaming of,
Yes.
is and of itself is a goal. The belief in and of itself is something to attain. So our goals and our dreams, the big ones, we're not here for them actually. We're here for the belief.
Okay.
So I would call and request, and I would love it for the viewers to start dreaming big, just so that they can believe more, and then belief brings in so much joy in life.
Definitely. Thank you for your lovely messages for our dear viewers, as we also want to escape gossip in our society. As you know, Hussa, girls or guys go to duaniyas, go to big gatherings,
Absolutely.
and there's a lot of gossiping happening there.
Yeah.
What should one do to escape this kind of scenario, or should they just ignore what's going on?
When I coach my clients, I always teach them accountability. So to me, it's more important that every person is responsible of themselves instead of responsible of other people.
Okay.
So if I'm in a place, in a gathering where there's a lot of gossip, I should allow myself to practice my freedom of choice. If I don't want to gossip, I don't gossip. And I should also respect other people's freedom of choice. If they want to gossip, they can gossip. It's up to them. But practicing our freedom of choice enables us not to gossip. Also, I can practice my freedom of choice and leave the area where there is gossip. So, having...
Oh, sorry, but won't they get sad if you just leave in the place they're gossiping at?
Would they get sad?
Yeah.
Does that matter?
Not to the person, maybe, but to the people.
It doesn't matter, because if I'm in a place that's bothering me, it should be okay for me to leave that place. And if I'm in a place where people are gossiping, so let's change the scenario.
Right.
Let's assume you're sitting in a room where there's a gas leak, right?
Okay.
Would you sit in that room?
No.
What if you leave and then the people who are sitting are telling you, no, please come sit with us? What would you think?
Would you give them, for example, give them a reason, for example, that you guys are talking in bad things I don't want to hear, I'm leaving?
You
or
can.
Should I tell them a white lie, for example?
You can say a white lie. You can tell them I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I want to rest. It's your choice, but worrying about other people's perception of you is one of the greatest things you will overcome when you stop gossiping. Because when we stop gossiping, even us thinking, because part of us always worries that someone is gossiping about us.
Yes.
Right? But when we stop gossiping, we even stop worrying about that. It's like, yeah, okay, you're gossiping about me. I don't care. Why? Because I'm not gossiping.
Yes.
So I don't really care if someone else is gossiping about me.
Okay.
So with time, we start growing that self-confidence where it doesn't really bother you if someone is not okay with your actions, especially if your actions are for your own good. It's for my own good. I don't want to be around a place where there is gossip. It's my personal choice. In the beginning, it's going to be tricky. One of the tricks that I used to do in the beginning of my journey of stopping gossiping is I would simply bring out my headphones and watch something on my phone. When people start gossiping in the gathering,
Yes.
I just put my headphones and so if anyone says like, Hussa, I'm like, huh, what? I didn't hear. And I really didn't hear.
All right. That's a really good way to
Yeah,
gossip.
really, see? Because there's always ways, because I was experimenting.
Yes.
I was experimenting. I was very, very, very adamant on stopping this. And it was a very clear this or that for me. Do you want gossip or do you want your vision? So I have a vision statement, something we all do with my clients. I have a vision statement.
Okay.
And it was very clear. Do you want to gossip or do you want your vision statement? Which one is more important?
A vision statement for sure.
Absolutely, every time.
Yes.
No matter who or what the gossip was about, my vision statement is always much more important.
All right.
So that gave my brain a goal. So it started coming up with different ways to
Yes.
avoid gossiping. This is what we want to learn about our brain. Our brain is a bunch of workers ready to work for us.
Okay.
Are we giving them the right order? Are we giving them the clear action to do? So I told my brain, I want to stop gossiping. I want my vision statement.
Okay.
So my brain started giving me options. You know, maybe you should put your headphones. Oh, okay. And I put them.
Okay.
You know?
Instead of listening to the society.
Instead of
around
listening.
you.
Yeah.
And obviously, putting a vision in front of you and occupying your time with your vision definitely reduces the gossiping around you, and people start actually gossiping about your success.
Yes. Yes.
That's really great. So many people justify gossiping also as venting. What do
Yeah.
you have to tell them about that?
This is a very fine line. And I understand. I mean, in the end of the day, we are people, we have feelings, and that's okay. Part of stopping gossiping, we should be very graceful with ourselves, we should be very kind to ourselves, and if sometimes our feelings overpower us and we want to vent and unknowingly start to gossip, that's fine. The difference between venting and gossiping is venting is you're just talking about the person. They did this, they did that, da 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 da.
Okay.
I mean, that's gossiping. When we want to vent, we want to bring it back to ourselves. Like, okay, they did this, but I also did this.
Okay.
For example, I didn't put the boundaries. I didn't verbalize my needs. I didn't respect my own, no, you know?
Yes.
So shifting that mindset will really like boost up your success and your ability to achieve your goals, because you're training your brain constantly to not feel like the victim, to not think that the world is out against them. You make your brain learn that there's an opportunity in every situation. So even the situation that looks horrible,
Yes.
there's an opportunity. We have a saying, الخير فيما اختاره الله, like God chooses the best for us. So if this thing happened for me, I know it looks horrible,
Yes.
but I'm sure there's something good about this. So when we train our brain to do that, we will notice that gossiping starts going down. Venting is going to be more about, I can't understand the message, you know?
Okay.
Like I can't understand where the khira is. Venting is going to be more towards that instead
Okay.
of, so you're going to start talking about yourself, you're going to start talking about God, you're going to start talking about your vision. You're going to vent, you're going to be angry,
Yes.
but the venting is different.
I'm sure, as you said, God Almighty has written all the good things for us. And therefore, also dear viewers, if you're venting, vent to the sea, as they say.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So therefore, dear viewers, we shall take a short break. I'll be right back with Hussa, so stay tuned. And we are back, dear viewers, with Hussa Alhassawi, a transformational coach here on Hala Kuwait. It's good to be talking to you again, Hussa.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're most welcome. And now we're going to move to gossip and social media.
Yeah.
So how does gossip affect people in social media more often, and what remedies do you have for them?
Gossip has been here since the beginning of time. I know a lot of people like to say, since social media, now we gossip more. Gossip has been here. Human beings have the same habits since the beginning of time.
Okay.
Everything, human nature is the same since the beginning of creation.
Okay.
Social media is a thing. We either use it for good or we use it for bad. If we were the same characters living in a different time where there was no social media, we would gossip about something else other than social media. You know what I mean?
Our surroundings only.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. The habit is there. Social media is just, let's say, an excuse that some people use as a reason for the habits that they already have.
Okay.
Social media is a great tool, just like everything else in life God has given us. We either use it for good or we use it for bad. We have to learn to practice our freedom of choice. Nothing is imposed on us. We have to practice to learn our freedom of choice. So, for example, on my social media account, I have, in my bio, I have a quiz for the followers.
All right. What is it about?
It's about gossip, where they can do, it's a little quiz, it's 10 questions.
Okay.
And they can see what is the reason behind them gossiping. Is it a lack of a clear vision? Or is it extensive limiting beliefs? Or is it a bundle of both?
Yes.
Because we can treat that, we can work with that, we can open up those synaptic connections and create new ones. We can create a clear vision, which will help us be focused on the vision instead of other distractions.
Yeah, so the survey, as you said, their viewers will help you know if you have a gossiping habit.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Why you have a gossiping habit.
Okay.
So we have a gossiping habit, but why do you have it? Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned something about self-awareness and how to improve your self-awareness by reading, for example.
Yeah.
What's the best approach to read? Is it a book? Is it something related to religion? Or is it talking to a mentor? How does somebody really make himself aware about these habits and to overcome them into visions and goals?
I think having a holistic approach works best for the brain, usually. Practice, read, ask, talk, experiment, even traveling is a way for us to grow and become more developed even in our brain.
Yes.
Again, if we have the intention to do that. Having a mentor in the beginning is extremely important because it's the first steps. So you would want someone to hold your hand, let's say, tell you, it's okay you felt that way, it's okay this happened, that's normal, that's... Lots of my sessions with my clients is me saying, that's normal, that's normal, and them panicking, like, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? And I tell them, that's normal, it's because this, and that, and this is happening because of this. And I have a client and I give them examples and they calm down when they know other people are going through the same thing that they are.
Okay.
Transformation and change is it's not a easy ride. It's not a rainbows and butterflies kind of situation.
Yes.
It's not. But so is living a life that you don't like.
Yes, some people are blind in that life.
Yeah. You live a life that you obviously don't like. You're miserable, you're depressed, you don't enjoy your day, your relationships are getting worse, your health is getting worse. And then when it's time for a mentor to hold your hand, you say it's too hard. I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm saying this is why we're here. You have a mentor because it's hard. That's why.
Yes.
So in the beginning, I always recommend a mentor. There are phenomenal books, amazing books. I also have a podcast where my friend and I read self-help books and we review them and we have weekly episodes.
That's really great.
Yeah. So right now we're reading a book called Transcending the Levels of Consciousness. It's deep and very complicated. So reading it and having someone who reviews it for you is also a great option. There are so many things that are available.
Definitely. And I'm sure some people, since you're talking about more about social media, and they're flipping through pages and watching people that have certain kind of benefits, and therefore gossip just hits their brain and hits them emotionally. And then they start envying themselves or being jealous and builds up emotionally.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for these people as a guide?
This is a very clear gateway to understanding limiting beliefs. Having what we call contractive feelings. So a contractive feeling is any feeling that you have that makes you feel smaller, like jealousy, envy, anger, like even anger is very, you know.
Yes.
Any contractive feeling is a gateway for a limiting belief. You want to contact your mentor, get in touch with your mentor, and understand what this limiting belief is and start rewiring it. Because the moment that rewiring happens, that same incident will not trigger the contractive feeling. The same incident will either pass by, like it's nothing, or it will be a source of inspiration for something else that you want.
Definitely. And also, Hussa, you are an inspiration for us here and our dear viewers. We'd love to hear from you. Our last message for the new year that's coming ahead for people to start thinking positively.
I would say dream big. It's only big for you. It's not really big, because once you reach them, you'll understand that there is more and there is bigger. Take care of yourself, because that's the most important thing. You only help others after helping yourself. You only love others after loving yourself.
Yes.
I know it's, for some people, it's a foreign concept, but it is attainable and it is manageable. We are all here to help. Accept help. Don't
leave it too late.
Don't be stingy with yourself, you know, like give yourself help. It's okay to receive help. The benefits really outweigh the cons.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Hussa, for joining us here on Hala Kuwait.
Thank you.
And really explaining this deep subject to us and our dear viewers today.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Therefore, dear viewers, let's all thank the coming of Hussa Alhassawi, a transformational coach here on Hala Kuwait. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. So, dear viewers, let's take a break with this report and we shall be right back.